Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've officially made it. We've gotten to the point where we can officially say, not speculatively or anything like that, officially say that Bud Light is no longer the #1 beer in the United States of America. Yes, it is official. Modelo Especial has taken over Bud Light as the #1 beer in the United States. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, Modelo Especial is owned by Anheuser-Busch. No, they are not. They are not owned by Anheuser-Busch in the United States of America. Anheuser-Busch was forced to sell off Modelo Especial to Constellation Brands in the United States to avoid a monopoly clause that was going to be made against them. So Modelo Especial is not owned by Anheuser-Busch. It is owned by Constellation Brands in the United States. So this is actually a win for the people who basically destroyed this brand. Obviously, you guys are very much aware Bud Light has been completely targeted by many different outlets, left, right, and center, and people have moved on. They have completely moved on from this brand. What used to be the #1 brand in the United States of America is no longer the case, as Modelo Especial has actually physically taken over, finally, for the year, and it's great. So let's get into the article, guys, from Fox Business News. But of course, before we do, if you're new here, just consider giving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. So it says, after reigning more than 2 decades as the top-selling beer in the United States on an annual basis, Bud Light has officially been knocked off of its pedestal. Modelo Especial surpassed the beleaguered Anheuser-Busch InBev brand in year-to-date sales for 2023, according to the latest Nielsen IQ data, which was first reported by CNN. NIQ's data shows that as of August 12th, Modelo reached an 8.34 share of dollars spent on beer at stores in America year to date, passing Bud Light, which sat at 8.28% on an annual basis for the first time ever. Ladies and gentlemen, not only that, if you guys look at this right here on the screen, you're going to see that this is a live feed of the actual stock for Constellation Brands Inc., which is the company that actually owns Modelo Especial in the United States. And if you notice, it is rising and it continues to rise. Look at the absolute destruction that's happening compared to Anheuser-Busch. Modelo Especial and Constellation Brands is definitely reaping the benefits of what Bud Light decided to do with their brand. So it actually is pretty damn awesome to see this go down. So it says Modelo, owned by Constellation Brands, has been gaining on Bud Light in annual sales for months. The Mexican lager has been the top-selling beer monthly since May, shortly after Bud Light sales were hit following a controversial partnership with the transgender activist and grifter Dylan Mulvaney. The backlash against Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch InBev started in early April, not long after the company created and sent custom beer cans to Mulvaney to mark 365 days of grifting. That move and the company's response to its spark calls to boycott the brand, and sales have taken a clear hit. So again, ladies and gentlemen, Bud Light is no longer #1. Bud Light has been losing not only millions of dollars in sales, they have lost billions of dollars in market cap. This company, I think, has seen the version of rock bottom that only a company like this can experience. Now, lucky for them, they have so many different companies that would allow them to stay afloat. So even if Bud Light is completely destroyed from the ground up, they have other companies that are going to be able to subsidize Bud Light in the United States. So as a whole, the company Anheuser-Busch is obviously not worried about what's going down. But at the end of the day, Modelo Especial taking over for Bud Light is monumental. You guys got to understand that Bud Light has been #1 for over 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. It has been #1 for, I believe, 22 years. That is a crazy number for a brand to be #1 in anything for that long. And all it took was one bad move, and that's all it took to take down this company in the public eye. It's actually pretty damn nuts when you think about it. So it says NIQ data provided to Fox Business by Bump Williams Consulting showed that as of July 29th, Bud Light sales were down 14.5% on a dollar basis for the year and down 18.8% in volume, while Modelo Especial was up 9.6% in terms of dollar sales and 5.4% in terms of volume. Other top brands are capitalizing on Bud Light's downward spiral too. In the last week of July, dollar sales for Miller Lite were up 19.2%. Coors Light rose 20.7%, Yuengling Traditional Lager jumped by 22.5%, and Corona Extra sales increased by 4.8%. And if you check this out, Anheuser-Busch is at a measly $56.91 a share. They are getting absolutely murdered. Now, they are picking up very, very slightly. Very slightly they are picking up, but we've noticed this happen time and time again where they go up very slightly and then they start going on a downward spiral again. It's because people are trying to buy the stock while it's cheap, hoping that it's going to go back to where it was, but the chances of that happening, as you guys are very much aware, is slim to none. So ultimately, at the end of the day, we are seeing the downward spiral of a company that was once the greatest company in beer in the United States, and they have themselves to thank for that. They have Alyssa Hernerscheid to thank for that. They have their marketing team to thank for that. They have their CEO to thank for that as well. And it's amazing to me that the CEO has not been let go at this point, considering that he dropped the ball in responding to this outrage. Like, I don't understand how he was able to just stay quiet and not say anything. And I get it. There's a lot of companies that do that. They're like, let's just stay quiet and things will blow over. But it's very clear after a few months went by that this was not going to blow over. And as you guys can see, we're still making videos about it. People are still talking about it. People are still making news articles about it. It's not blowing over. So the CEO really needed to come out at some point and just admit that they were wrong, but they never did that. They gave this bullshit statement, the likes of which nobody cared to read, and it didn't do anything, and it's not going to gain anyone's favor. It doesn't matter how much different marketing you decide to take. You're not going to win over the American people anymore. At the end of the day, they have completely moved on. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.